Tosses, you don't throw it out. Solid. Oh my, what a...
Call me a giant or call me a 49er. Call me a warrior, cause I follow a code of honor. Out on the streets where I grew up, one thing they teach you is the sidestep uppercut. They hope that spamming will get them everywhere. Someone get them out of here.
What is up, guys? It's your boy FightNightsFinest, the sofa commentator, bringing you guys a new series. This gameplay provided by Dave the Rip One. This initially was going to be used for Fight Night Champion cast in episode 2, but I need to work on my casting skills a lot more. So I decided to work on a new idea that I've been thinking about starting for a while now, and that is Spammers on Blast. It's a series where we just pretty much expose spammers on the YouTube channels. If they're gonna keep doing it, the only way to get rid of them is to show people who they are. This way they don't walk into them. And you know, first things that you gotta know is, what is a typical spammer? What do they look like? You know, sometimes you got the real sneaky spammers in there. Well, here's a few indications that you may be going up against a spammer, like hello goodbye 5113. One indication is by the reach and the height. If you see a guy in heavyweight division who's 6'8" with an 88 reach, 9 times out of 10 expect spammage. He's gonna be throwing that straight right hand and the side step right uppercut and abusing the push straight. That's a typical indication that you're gonna fight a spammer, is a max reacher. Not all the time, but usually means you're gonna be fighting a spammer. Next indication that you may be fighting a spammer. Look at how his face looks. If you see that his face consists of, I don't know, maybe a photo picture, a picture with like a messed up face on it, like it looks like Dracula or something wild. If it's a shadow fighter, indication he may be a spammer. His name, go by his name. Adolf Hitler, like shown in Dave the Rip One's current video, that also will be linked in the description, as well as a video response to this video. Look at his face, look at his name. If you see certain things, certain qualities, you should just know he's gonna be a spammer without any question or doubt. If you see a title belt shot, 9 times out of 10 he's a spammer. And as you can see there, he puts Dave the Rip One down, ends up cold clocking him with a beautiful power. No, it wasn't beautiful, but he abused the power straight through about 3 or 4 of them in a row, and he ends up putting them down there. But yeah, those are the indications to know that you're gonna come up against a spammer. That, you know, he has wild colored, you know, facial features. You know, his eyes and stuff is weird. He just has a weird face that's not anything templated. Some people may take pictures of themselves and it looks like, oh, this guy just took a picture of himself. Either 9 times out of 10 he's either a tryhard or yeah, he's gonna be spamming. So as we look down into round 1 here, or round 2, excuse my language. Round 2 here, Dave the Rip One has already been put down by the spammer by a nice power series of power straights. As you can see here, he's damaging him pretty badly with those abuse of the power straight. And will he be able to hang on for the rest of this round as he just tries to recover himself and get himself back into condition to fight the rest of this fight? But what should you do against a spammer? That's another question here. And this spammer, he's more like an aggressive spammer. There's a few different types of spammers out there. You got the guys who come out really aggressive, like you see here, where they throw multiple punches. When I mean multiple punches, is either the side step right uppercut or the straight to the head, as you can see here. That's their arsenal usually. The arsenal of a spammer is normally consists of these kind of punches: single straights, side step right uppercut, or abuse of the jab straights, normally to the body or to the head. You don't see too many jab spammers. Those guys are pretty much easy to destroy nowadays. You got the body spammers, the guys who usually just work the power uppercut shots to the body. As you can see, spamming is really developed in this game, and it's important that we put these little motherfuckers on blast, because if we don't, it's gonna continue on. But once they start getting avoided for the key things that people just don't know about how to identify a spammer, how to know when you're coming up against a spammer, and how to defeat a spammer, you know, I guarantee it will either stop or it will be shrink down to a minimum. And you know, we already have the psychology behind why somebody spams. They're not too good at the game. They try to fight sim, and you know, they got destroyed. Or either they end up trying to fight somebody good, and they just couldn't master the controls of the game, or somebody was doing it and then they just adapted it because it became very effective. So as you can see here, one thing you can do is take away the outside from a spammer. And usually when you take away the outside, they're not too good at coming forward. So when you hit the first punch, like David was doing here with 2 nice, 3 nice, 4 nice with the counter straight to the body, when you take away the outside from them, then they can't come forward. Their shots are bad. They can't put forth any offense, and they just end up fumbling and stumbling all over the ring. But, you know, other times, you know, they can come forward, especially in the heavyweight division, you know, got the power straight spammers. But usually when you take the outside away from a spammer, it allows you to pot shot them all around from the outside and able to allow you to win certain fights. And you can also do this against guys who have limited combinations of punches, where they only have about 2 or 3 combinations in their entire arsenal. And it's usually not anything more than 2 punches a day. The Ripper hits the signature counter right hook to the body, and he's doing a lot better this round than he has in the first 2. He made an adjustment, which is the key thing that you got to do about spammers. You know, figure out the speed and timing of when they're gonna throw and when they're not gonna throw. You know, when they're going to look for offense and when they're not going to look for offense. And gets a counter sandwich right to the face with a straight. And he ends up applying more pressure to him and taking the fight to him now. And Dave the Ripman's really starting to pile up and rack up these points in this round, as he taught him a little earlier there, as you saw, bringing him in. And as you can see there, that's what they do when they get real upset. They spam about 5-6 side step right uppercuts in a row. And come on, man. Like, if you just look at this fight without me just exposing it, it just looks ridiculous. Like, you really come into a fight to do this? This is a message to all the spammers out there. You come into a fight to sidestep and throw one type of punch. You come into, look at this. Look at this. If the round didn't stop right there, he would have had about 6 more left in him, for sure. Throwing 6 punch, that's just 6 punch combinations, a sidestep right uppercut. But back to the fight here, as you can see. Dave the Ripman's down 2 rounds to 3. He's got 1 round under his belt. I think he pretty much figured out what to do from this point on without question. As you can see here, he's just landing those shots now with the right uppercut followed by the left hook to the body, the jab to the body followed up by a straight to the head. And then now that he scored the first points of the round, he takes the spam out of his element by getting back on the outside. Usually they're going to want to back up. And, you know, if you land a nice little step-in uppercut to the body or a quick jab to the body, they play for points. The mindset of a spammer is to play for points or either go for a quick knockout. But when they play for points, once they look to run for the entire round and use that Philly shell excessive pump block in order to take the fight back into their possession, where the defense becomes effective and you're missing punches and you're just getting pot shotted from the outside with the straights. And look, he is determined not to come forward, ladies and gentlemen. He refuses to come forward. So what Dave the Red One ends up doing is saying, no, I'm not going to give it back to you. I'm not going to give you the outside. And he forces the spammer to come forward and fight the fight that Dave the Red One wants him to. And that's pretty much the way to go in this type of fights. But as you can see here, he's fumbling. He's missing punches. His punches are being blocked. He's trying to go with the straight spam here and the side step spam. And that's usually the spammer's heavy artillery, is that power straight to the head. Because, you know, the side step right uppercut sets the punches up. But then that straight, the straight is like, it's like the promised land too for them. It's going to be the thing that leads them into the holy grail, is that power straight. So usually you just have to know how to get away with that. And you do that by either a counter side step right uppercut of your own, or you move your head like Dave the Ritman's doing, or you just get off first with a nice well-placed combination. And that will pretty much lead him into doing what he's doing now. And that's trying his best to just come forward with his single shot combination. And you know the timing and when he's going to do it by now. So you just look for the counter punch. If you don't look for the counter punch, you hit him before he gets a chance to throw that shot, and that'll disrupt the timing of the shot and cause it to go off course somewhere down south or somewhere down north or whatever the term may be for missing a punch. And yeah, he would just continue to keep missing and fumbling around the ring, as you see him doing here. But I do give him props for this one thing. Most spammers don't know how to cut off the ring, and he does do a good job here of pushing Dave the Rip One up to the ropes. I think it's more if Dave wanted to be close to the ropes because he is comfortable fighting there against the ropes. But once the fight's in the center of the ring, it's pretty much no contest. As you can see there, that quick little segment right there that's just passed by a few seconds ago. Go back and rewind that if you have to. But that's pretty much how you handle them. You get them in the center of the ring where that side step or that straight won't be effective, and you keep countering them, and it's going to get them frustrated. As you can see here, look at this. Look at this. He's confused. He has no idea what to do. He's just getting counter shot all day as he hits his signature back step straight there. But for the most part, he's clueless, and he pays the price with a right hook. And here comes the combinations, and down he goes with a nice flurry of combinations straight to the head right there to finish him off. And down he goes for the first time onto the canvas. I think we're going to watch that again, plus one more time here. Eat that straight sandwich right to the face, and that puts him down onto the canvas, like I said, for the first time. That's a nice thing to do, though. Sometimes it just make them watch it. It breaks them even more frustrated, and it gets them to come out and throw that 6-punch side step combination. But at this point, you know, when you come out really aggressive as a spammer like that, you end up losing stamina pretty quick early on into the fight with the constant side step right uppercut spam, especially when you're not landing them. So at the end of the day, you're just going to see him just getting tired and not being able to take the shots. I say Dave is around 60% stamina, but, you know, his shots are effective. He's landing the counter shots. He's controlling the fight by using ring generalship, using combinations, and setting up his punches. If I sound a little weird, it's because I'm a bit sick. Just give me a second real quick. You're going to hear a quick pause. Yeah, sorry about that, but right there he gets a nice counter straight to the head. That might have been a little bit awkward, but yeah, probably put like an effect or something over that. So at the 5th round, Dave the Rip One revenges his knockdown from round 1 and ends up knocking the guy down in round 5. And Hello Goodbye is probably sweating. He's probably shaking in his chair. He's probably trying to correct his own vibration on the controller, trying to figure out, what am I gonna do? And right there, he's frustrated. He's just throwing punches at the air. He has no clue what to do. But he did get the counter straight off there to the head. Then he goes back to the heavy artillery with the back step straight, throws it one more time and misses this time. And then just keeps getting pot shotted. But he's coming forward, but Dave the Rip One gets the counter right back with the left hook up top. And now it's just pretty much the fight is in Dave's hands, however he wants to do it, as he gets a power straight there to the head with the right uppercut, left hook combination. And the fight's pretty much in control for Dave, as he's up 3 rounds to 2, and then the 6th round is pretty much going to be the same result if he's not able to adjust. You cannot adjust to a style of Dave the Rip Ones or any sim fighter with a small arsenal like this, with a 2-punch arsenal and occasionally a jab straight. What adjustments can you possibly make besides to take a more defensive stand? But when you're getting hit with combinations, you got to score your points, right? It's the ultimate counter to a spammer. It's to take away the outside and the land counter shots. I mean, at the end of the day, you only have to get away from two punches. Once you know the counters to those, it's pretty much, you're going to have a field day for the rest of the fight. And as you see here, you just keep pot shotting him. Just keep working the combinations. As you see him just fumbling and missing his single punch combination. And Dave the Rip was just putting forth wonderful offense at this point. There's nothing else he can do at this point. It's just crazy watching him miss his shots. You know, his 1-punch combination, when you see Dave throwing about three 2-punch combinations, sometimes 4. And just look. Just watching the miss is fantastic to see a spammer just out of his element, out of his game, confused, and you know, he doesn't know what to do. But we come down to the end of round 6, another round we could chop up to Dave the Rip One, and like I said earlier, it just puzzles me as a spammer. Maybe if you're a spammer, and I know there's gonna be a few dislikes for this, but maybe if you're a spammer, leave in the comment section what adjustment can you possibly make with 2-punch combinations. Well, a single punch, 2-punch arsenal. What adjustments can you possibly make? Yeah, that's what I thought. None. But yeah, leave in the comment section if you're a spammer, if you know what kind of combinations you could throw there. And if you're sick of running into guys like this, I mean, you can always join our Fight Night Champion League, where sim fighting is a requirement. You can't join if you're not going to do it. You don't have to worry about the max reaches. There's a reach cap. You know, there's so many things that you can do and still play this game and have a lot of fun. Head-to-head does, and middleweight does have a lot less spammers. Just in head-to-head, just be prepared to go up against more powerful characters and cheesy character selection with the Andre Bishops, the Mike Tysons, well, not Andre Bishop so much, but the Mike Tysons, the Isaac Frost, the Andre Bishop in middleweight, and the Sugar Ray Robinsons. You know, just be prepared to go up against that. But down to the minute-and-a-half mark, going into the minute mark of this round, Goodbye is really starting to pick it up here. As you can see here, he's just lunging for it with his shots and missing and just slicing the air. And Dave the Rimlin's just keeping up the game plan. And fights like this, where you see a guy who's able to adjust and his opponent is unable to make adjustments, it really shows you like, oh man, sim fighting, you know, sim fighting is where it's at. Not this spamming stuff. I really can't believe people get on this game to fight like this. And at this point in the fight, if it was me, I probably would have been experimenting if I was Goodbye, because I honestly don't know what else I could do. Because at this point, my combinations, well, my single punch combinations aren't working, and it's hard to commentate on stuff like that as we enter into the 8th round. But you know, Goodbye did land some more of the clean and effective shots and limited offense from Dave the Ripman, who tried to focus on defense in that 7th round. Now you're going to see Goodbye really, you know, feeling confident now that he has 3 rounds under his belt with a knockdown also in the fight. You know, you're going to see that confidence really starting to play forth now, where he still believes that he has a chance to take this fight. As, you know, he thought aggression was the way to go. And then, as you see in this round, the 8th, he goes back looking for defensive responsibilities, and Dave the Ripman realizes what he has to do here and just starts turning the offense back up with good defense as he pot shots him again with a backstep straight and a jab to the head. And limited offense is really just destroying Goodbye at this moment. He has literally no chance to come back from the dead at this point. It's all over for him unless if he can continue to put offense the way he did in the 7th, as Dave gets a counter jab to the body followed by a counter straight with a left hook on top to the body, damaging the stamina even more than it already is. And now it's just a matter of time before he ends up going down, because I mean, he has to be even more tired than Dave at this point, because those spam moves do take a lot out of you, especially when you're throwing power shots and slicing the air and you're missing punches, and that side step is already a stamina drain because you step, and then throwing an uppercut on the top of it and watching the stamina drain is just going to make things even worse. Coming down to the last minute of the fight, 45 seconds left to go. Is there any adjustment possible in Goodbye's arsenal as he pulls out the signature 1-2 to the body, and nothing lands there? And he's just trying his best right now to come forward. I will say this though, even though he looks like just how many punches he misses during this fight, his box is still moving with pretty fast hand speed. I will say that. But then here it comes, ladies and gentlemen. He gets the counter right uppercut to the head after missing his signature sidestep. And here it comes. Get your chin check. I haven't hit one of those in a minute. And down he goes onto the canvas for the 2nd time with a beautiful right uppercut by Dave the Ripman, putting him down on the canvas for the 2nd time. And Goodbye, you know, I will give him his props on this. Most spammers can't get up from a 2nd knockdown, so to see him get up from 2, gotta pat that guy on his back for that. But as you can see here, into the 9th round, fights being completely dominated at this point by Dave the Ripman, After adjustment made into the 3rd round, Goodbye did take the 7th. But at the end of the day, you know, who's landing the more effective shots and you know, who has more stamina to come back, as he lands the straight there, followed by a straight spam of his own and a right hook to the head to finish the combination off. And he goes down onto the canvas for a 3rd time. I see what I seen in the 7th round, even though Goodbye won it. It's more like a recovery round for Dave versus Goodbye, because Goodbye, what he did was he went all out and burned himself out. And then in the 8th round, he was still trying to land punches but missing a lot. So his stamina at this point has to be somewhere in the 30 to 20% tile, if that much, in order for him to be even that close into this fight, because he missed quite a few punches, even though they're single shot combinations. That arm fatigue that was originally placed into the game is now starting to take its effect on him. And you know, it's only a matter of time before either the knockout comes or a 1 PKO comes, or either that Dave just wins on points. So 2 minutes left to go in this round. Dave is probably just going to keep to the He's going to stick to the game plan at this point because it's working. I mean, if it's not broke, don't fix it. But the spammer does get the power straight off to the head, gets him in a bell ringer state, gets too aggressive, and Dave makes him pay with the signature right hook to the body, followed by the counter left hook to the head, and then follows that up by a straight and get cold clock, motherfucker. And he goes down onto the canvas for the 4th time. The 4th time, ladies and gentlemen. He has been down 4 times after having complete control of the first 2 rounds and scoring a knockdown. Dave the Rip one makes the adjustment and is now taking this fight and has it completely in the palm of his hands. Like God has all the little children in the world, or some however that song goes. Y'all get the point. And a minute going left into this round. Well, close to the minute mark left into this round. And Goodbye still applying that pressure, still thinking he has a chance. After hitting Dave into the bell ringer state, he still believes that that straight can bring him to the promised land if he lands it with one more power shot, as Dave hits the signature counter right hook to the body once again, followed by a nice jab straight up top, followed by another jab straight combination, and then a series of straights just to rub it in his face, just to smother it into this man's face. He does the straight spam to cap off the fight, and with 5 knockdowns, no sir, you cannot get up off the canvas. And that's how this fight pretty much comes to an end, with a 9th round knockout, receiving 5 KDs, 5 knockdowns, in order to take the fight back. Really good fight by Dave the Rip one, really good adjustment. And if you wasn't spamming that straight hand that you have laying out there right now, this probably wouldn't have happened to you. If you guys have any clips or any gameplays or spammers that you guys want me to commentate or talk about, feel free to send it to me or make a video of your own. Spammers on Blast Series Part 1, Episode 1. Here it is, ladies and gentlemen. Leave in the comment section what you thought. This is your boy Fight Night's Finest, the Sofa Commentator, signing off.
Told you, brother, I'm the chronicle of our struggles, the voice of the families like Moses, only keeping it real.